Grab a coffee or anything there if you want, lads, by the way. Oh, yeah. All right, 30 seconds, lads, and we're going live.
I thought I was out there for a second. I said, Jesus Christ.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action. Hello, Mac Irish Football Fan TV. We are here with our match preview. I'm joined by Jared Brown and Joe O'Neill. And we have Jared live actually from Malta. So there he is in his nice sunny room. Well, I'm in a bit of a dark room here because I don't want the dog barking at people outside. And Joe looks like he's in Malta as well. But hey, how is Malta, Jared?
Quite nice. Wouldn't be very unsimilar to still summer like temperatures and weather back home. Sun is absolutely cracking the stones. Temperatures in around the mid 20s. About 11 o'clock when I got in last night. It was still kind of quite warm then. Even you might say foolishly decided to get up at 9 o'clock this morning and went for a run and even struggled a little bit in the heat. But yeah, like it's kind of a nice kind of, I suppose, winter break for fans to get this time of the year. I think this time last year we were in Luxembourg and it was kind of freezing cold, so it's nice when you get this November window to get somewhere that's nice and sunny. I think the forecast is for a bit of rain tomorrow, but it's still going to be in the temperatures in the 20s. So not have the fact I was, like I said, late getting in last night and haven't really done much other than just kind of, like I said, went for the run, had breakfast this morning. Haven't really seen an awful lot of Irish shirts around. There was a few on the plane journey. Last night I did see a few Instagram stories of people who were out yesterday, so maybe they got in a bit earlier. There was a few down for breakfast. I know there's a lot kind of down Galway, Limerick direction. They're flying direct from Shannon today. They're due to get in around 2 o'clock. So yeah, you'd still probably be expecting somewhere in the region about 400 to 500 Irish fans to make the trip over. Friendly games, always kind of hard to tell because there's not obviously much at stake compared to a qualifier in Nations League. But yeah, hopefully we should make for a good buzz, a good trip, and hopefully we'll have a good memory to sell from the football as well to take away from it.
Let's hope so. Isn't that the reason why we go to these things? Joe, obviously you're joining us from London, I think.
Yep. As far as I remember, I am in London, not sunny Malta, relatively cold and miserable London. The only reason that it looks like it's sunny because I have my light on beside me. So it is very much a false dawn over here. But yeah, I actually won't lie. I forgot we were playing Malta tomorrow. In my head, I was just like, we have the Haaland show, and then Haaland never showed up the other night. And then it's only when Paul, you messaged me the other day being like, "Oh, can you get on for the Malta game?" I was like, "We playing Malta." It's like it's such a kind of weird FAI friendly to organize, but it's still look the whole point that the friendly, the whole point of games is to it's for me anyway with friendlies it's just to blood young players to set up a system for going forward. So really we should be looking at no matter what way it turns out for tomorrow, it should be a handy 3-0, and it should be just an impressive game. Really, no matter what way it turns out. So that's all I'm looking forward to for tomorrow. But I'm very happy that some of us are able to get a suntan in November.
Yeah. Not us anyway, Joe.
No,
But yeah, feeling a bit under the weather. It's freezing here in Dublin, and I feel like I'm getting a chest infection myself. But anyway, let's get on to the football. Look, we didn't have time to get a final word done on the game against Norway. Disappointing loss considering the first half was so bad, but then the second half was really good. Um, from our performances, like you would have swore it was two different teams that went out for Ireland. If you looked at both halves, very unlucky that look they get the lucky break, I would say, because it comes off Colin's head and then their striker. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name. Scores. And just we had chances like that, but the ball just didn't drop for us like that. They were defending quite well, and the balls just didn't drop for us like that. Where we had a free shot on goal, mind you, one of our players probably would have scored it. But anyway, yeah, Jer, I suppose, can you take anything away from the performance against Norway to take into the Malta game?
Yeah, definitely the first 25 minutes, second half was really, really good. Like, first half was just not remember to take away from it. Don't ever remember us once kind of threatening their goal. We kind of played ourselves into a lot of trouble playing too much keep ball at the back, and they were able to get a squeeze on it. And eventually just looking the ball forward and came back. It was so flat. It was kind of like a typical kind of, wouldn't say end of season friendly, but it had that kind of feel, obviously, because it's the last game for a lot of players for a few weeks. But second half really up the tempo. I don't know, maybe it's because we're playing into the south stand and the home fans getting behind us, but there was more urgency. We bombarded their goal. We looked like we were going to score before Alan Brown's goal. It was really encouraging. You kind of felt it was kind of coming. I kind of felt we had them on the ropes. The momentum was on our side after that, and the game was there for us. But we just never really kind of kicked on. It looked like we were kind of maybe just happy to peter out and take the draw. Then, as you said, we got the sucker punch of giving away another goal from set piece like the first half. I never really kind of looked like getting the equaliser. But look, I suppose traditionally friendlies, you wouldn't really kind of read an awful lot into them, especially these games where it's an end of year. We don't play again for another 4 or 5 months. So even if we got a good result, it's kind of hard to kind of build up momentum because you have such a long break. But I do kind of feel it is important because you still kind of hear the negative tones again coming out of this game about like where we're going, inconsistency, is Kane the right man, and all that. And, like, we shouldn't really be hearing that after kind of friendly. So you did feel it was important because the June window was up and down, the September window was kind of up and down. You get the feeling like even if we win tomorrow, which we should, because Malta, we were talking about it off air, like we don't know anything about them. As far as I know, they've only won one competitive game in the qualifying campaign, I think, the last 8 years. So we should be winning it, but you still kind of get the feeling it's going to be an up and down campaign and then facing into the most hardest of possible qualifying routes for Euro 2024.
Yeah, just on Malta there. Yeah, I agree. It's just if we even struggle against these, I think Kenny's in big hot water, to be
Yeah.
honest. Look, I'll come to you, Joe, and just kind of get your opinion. I suppose the same thing as Jer. Kind of, can you take anything from the Norway game the other night? Going into this game, and I wouldn't imagine you're very fearful of Malta, but like we do tend to struggle against the lesser oppositions. But I just can't I can't fathom us going out and not winning this game, and if we didn't, it would be a disaster. Friendly or not, I think everybody who was a Kenny fan is really kind of going the other way now and just getting a little bit impatient with results, I think, at this stage.
yeah. Look, I never really put any stock into international friendlies. I always enjoyed them. I always thought they were important, and I always think they are pivotal to the team. But I never thought the results were the most important thing. I thought it was always how the players showed up, and also it gives new players a chance to really kind of set themselves up for going forward. But like I think Jared said it perfectly. Like it just the feeling of the game the other night was like I don't think anyone really wanted to do it. No one really wanted to be there. I was listening to Alan Brown's interview after the game, and I thought he scored an absolutely wonderful goal. And he just seemed very like I just want to go on holidays, and I just kind of need a break. And I think that was the sort of feeling. I don't think anyone was looking at that game as being a make or break for them. I think it was just like let's just get this one out of the way. Let's just hopefully we'll get a draw. Hopefully no injuries, and let's just enjoy a break. So that for me, the frustration with Kenny is that there's so many of these little mistakes that happen. Like you say with Nathan Collins and then with John Eagle on the first goal, and we're saying like the breaks aren't falling for us. And I think it seems that he's putting like a mentality into them, which is a good thing in a way. That always be thinking, always be alert, and which is annoying because if you look back to the Armenia games, there's two very simple mistakes that led to goals as well. But I think that leads to them overthinking and making mistakes and making stupid mistakes. But it also feels like we're missing that intensity. And it is that same thing of we start playing football when, not, well, we're always playing football now, but we're just lacking a little bite. But then when we go 1-0 down, that's when the bite comes in. So that's a massive frustration I have. But like I said, I don't hold a lot of stock in international friendlies. All I hold is that we have a good performance, and then some of the lesser players get a chance to shine. Um, I said we didn't really get that bar maybe 20 minutes or 25 minutes in the second half, and the first half was dreadful. So for that, I was just happy to see Alan Brown score a great goal and see Callum O'Dowda play, and I imagine he'll play against Malta as well. But I like you're saying as well. I think the only like there was no one's mind is going to change. Even though I did get a couple of text messages after the game of people getting a bit annoyed at Kenny, but I don't think anyone should be taking that from a friendly. I think it's frustrating. Absolutely, it's frustrating. But I think we're still going the right way. But if we don't, like, if we don't beat Malta by at least two clear goals, then there is massive issues. But I don't think there's going to be any problems tomorrow.
Yeah, I think look, with that, I think people are just getting frustrated because they're seeing us not beating the like it wasn't a very good Norway side. Like
Yeah,
let's call a spade here. Like they had Odegaard, the man Ostergaard's quite good as well, but they didn't have like Elianusi's all right. Like he's at
yeah,
Southampton, he's an attacker, and I'm not slagging Southampton in that like one of our keeper plays for them, but he's on his way up. But Elianusi, like you don't see him kind of leveling up to any
yeah.
clubs above that. Do you know what I mean? Like he's a decent enough player. He was good at Celtic, but I don't foresee him lighting it up in the Premier
Well, I think
League.
the
I think.
mindset was to just see out the game. I think, like Jared was saying, I think they would have just been happy with a draw. I don't think. I think it was like, let's just get a few minutes into under our belt. Let's just not put too much into this. And then, to be honest, at the end it could have gone either way, and that's not even a positive for either team. But I think it was just a case of let's just see out this game, and then just Norway happened to get the win. I don't think there's too much more to look into it, bar that.
Mm.
But
Yeah, no, but I think we actually were unlucky not to score more than one.
yeah,
We had a lot of
Yeah.
chances before Brown scored a great goal, and it was like watching Matt Holland against Cameroon all those years ago.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, like the thing that frustrates me, and I think what you're trying to say there is with our possession and the intensity in it. It's a lot of passing out from the back. It's just pass to centre back to centre back to centre back. It reminds me of Everton under Roberto Martinez, where it was just all the possession was in our own half. It
yeah,
wasn't in the opposition's half where you want to penetrate them, you want to get in behind. And I do think we're like O'Dowd actually did well at left wing back. And I think he was getting balls into the box, but there was nobody really attacking them. Do you know what I mean? I think
yeah.
Obafemi had his worst game in an Irish shirt, but anyway, we won't focus on that too much because hopefully he'll be starting against Malta and bang in a few. It'd be nice to see him maybe get a hat trick. I can't remember the last time an Irish player got a hat trick, to be honest with you. But
Robbie Keane against Gibraltar twice.
oh, well, there you go. So this is a Gibraltar type
Oh
game,
no,
I
Callum
suppose.
Robinson. Sorry, Callum Robinson
Oh
against
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, this time last
Our
year, yeah.
game, yeah. Sorry. Good memory, Joe. But yeah, look, I think our play needs to be quicker. Now it's easy for us to sit here and say that because we're not going up against these players or whatever. But if that's the way we want to play, we have to play it quicker. Anyway, let's look at Malta's results since March of this year. So they beat Kuwait in a friendly 2-0. They lost 1-0 to Venezuela. They lost 2-0. So they beat San Marino 2-0 in the Nations League. They lost to Estonia 2-1. They beat San Marino again 1-0, and then they lost 2-1 to Estonia. They beat Israel on the 27th of September in a friendly, and then they drew 2-2 with our future nemesis Greece. So strange results there. Yeah, but I think. Sorry, go on.
Just gonna say, them last two results will just give you a little bit of a warning that this could be a little bit of a banana skin. Now, look, it's hard to know what kind of sides Israel and Greece had out, but Israel were only, I think Israel were only a penalty shootout away from making the Euros or from beating Scotland in one of them playoff games, and they weren't a million miles off in that World Cup qualifying group either. And Greece, as we know, like that's far from a foregone conclusion. We're going to get even 4 points from them in the group. Like we know they have a couple of decent players, so there is a little bit of a kind of a warning there as well. You would also maybe look as well, the fact that their champions played Shamrock Rovers in the group stage of the Champions League. I know domestic football is so far removed from international football, but there was a massive gulf in class there between the two sides. So you're kind of hoping as well that might be a little bit of an indicator of what we'll be facing us tomorrow evening.
Yeah, I don't know. These minnows, like San Marino, we'd be playing them and we'd still be going into it wondering, can we beat them? You know what I mean? So it's just the way we are at the moment. Joe, I suppose from our point of view, who would you like to see come in? Would you like to see Evan Ferguson start? Would you like to see Will Smallbone start? What you said you'd like to see friendlies being as a way to bring young players in. So how do you feel about that?
Not Evan Ferguson just yet. I'd actually, maybe he'll get it like 10, 15 minutes. If we're comfortable and there's 20 minutes left, he should get on. But Will Smallbone deserves to start. I'd love to see Darryl letting him play. And also Kelleher to come in and get Kelleher or Travers. I don't really mind which one, but I just feel like we need to get a couple of the young guys in. But Evan Ferguson, I'd love to see him play a bit more, but I just don't think he's at that point where he should be starting or should be getting like 45 minutes or so. Wait till he gets to something like club level, but definitely 10, 15 minutes if we're comfortable. I don't see why not.
Yeah, just looking at that comment there from Cormac, because I know it's covering your mouth a little bit there. Joe, I know it's covering up your mouth a little bit, so that's why I was trying to put it up when you were on the big screen there. He just said, should Alan Brown be our player of choice at right wing back? He was a large reason why we were so effective against Scotland. I don't think you look past Matt Doherty in that position just because of what he gives you going forward. But in saying that, didn't Alan Brown get the first goal against Scotland? And he has a knack for scoring goals, so I think he should be in the team just purely based on that. Like he doesn't do a lot in terms of overall play, or cutting edge passes, right? But he scores goals. It's like Tim Cahill for Everton all those years ago, like where he used to he'd be in the team, he wouldn't do a whole lot. Maybe he does stuff off the ball that we don't see, but he scores goals.
So and he's like our Ronaldo.
Well, yeah, I suppose you could say that, but I think he brings. I think he brings a bit
hopefully
more.
Hopefully, he's a nicer person.
Yeah, but just like if you actually look at his goals, like I'd say he's a good goals per caps record compared to most. And he scored big goals for us. He scored against Scotland. Serbia. That was to set the tone. Serbia, another one. Then obviously, I know the goal the other night was a friendly, but it was a lovely goal as well. And we don't have enough players who can pop up and score goals like that. Do you know what I mean? Obafemi's probably the one in recent times other than him, but I think Alan Brown, and I would have really called me or seen myself saying this up until recently, but I think he has to start. I don't know if a right wing back, but in midfield, I think he probably has to start. And probably ahead of Smallbone, just purely based off the fact that he scored a goal. But I would like to see Smallbone come in ahead of Hendrick if you're going to pull one midfielder off the bench. I think a lot of people are done with Hendrick now at this point. I suppose I'll come to you, Jer, on that.
Yeah, I would love to see Smallbone get some action tomorrow. I was actually very disappointed he didn't come on to the night. He's been really impressive with them in training ones. The last one, I was very impressed with that first leg of the playoff against Israel. I haven't been keeping up too much in the championship the last couple of weeks, but he had started the season quite well with Stoke, whether he's maintained that or not. But he definitely is someone I think has definitely got a future pedigree, no doubt. I'd even like to see Mark Sykes given a try tomorrow, because by all accounts, he's really hit the ground running with Bristol City this season. He's been one of their most impressive players. So I'd love to see him kind of get thrown on for a few minutes if he doesn't kind of get a start. And this might sound strange given I'm a Liverpool fan, but I'd actually rather see Travers starting goals tomorrow, because I feel like Kelleher's got a couple of chances. Obviously, Bazunu is still our number one, but in a game like this, I think it'd be nice to throw Travers back in. Like he's playing more regular first team football at the moment than Kelleher, and I still think it'd be nice for him to finally have another Ireland appearance and totally banish the memories of Belgrade from March of last year. Because I think probably from a personal level, that's still a little bit hanging over him because that was the last time he wore the number one shirt for Ireland. So just even for a personal kind of point of view, his own point of view, if he can get a clean sheet and everything else like that, maybe even from that little psychological point of view, move on. But again, it's friendly. It's a like we know what Kelleher has to offer. We know what Bazunu has to offer. So I don't see any harm in throwing in Travers. So like I said, he's getting plenty of first team football. He's playing in the Premier League, and we all know as well what a good prospect he is, along with the other two lads.
Yeah, I think it's one of those you just never know who he's kind of going to go with. Usually when Bazunu's fit, Bazunu's the one, and then like if it's a kind of a game that we know we're going to win, he'll usually go with Keller at half time. I like Mark Travers. I feel like he's been very hard done by, but when you have three goalkeepers and you're seeing them up close like that, I think you can kind of see the levels in which that they can achieve, and obviously he feels like the other two are doing better. Joe, I suppose I'll come to you on that one. Just between the Alan Brown stuff and then the goalkeeper situation, what would you like to see?
Yeah, I'm on the same boat as you. I'd love to see Alan Brown in midfield rather than right wing back, because I think Matt Doherty is just generally better there and has been a quite. I don't think he rarely has like a very very bad game. So I think he. Hey Cormac, good to hear from you, and I'm glad you're keeping well too. I hope you're keeping well. Cormac, great actor. Sorry. But yeah, Alan Brown. I think you're kind of shoehorning him in a right back. I think he feels like a kind of David Myler, where you can just sort of play him anywhere. He'll give you like a 7 out of 10, or they'll give you everything anyway. But I feel he has to play in his natural midfield. But with goalkeeper, I'm on board with giving Travers a start tomorrow. And I actually did not realize that his last game was Belgrade, whatever it was, 18 months ago. And I feel like he's, like you're saying, he was playing week in, week out, then he got dropped. Now he's back in the starting lineup for Bournemouth, but he is a Premier League goalkeeper, and he should be. It's just a shame he came at this generation. If he was 7-8 years ago, he would be starting a good bit ahead of Darren Randolph. Not any disrespect to Darren Randolph, but I feel like Travers needs. We don't want to. I don't think he'll end up with only one cap and it being that memory. But I feel like just give him tomorrow. There's literally no reason why he should be playing tomorrow. And again, if he does mess up and we concede through a mistake he's made, then we just know that he doesn't deserve to start again. Maybe, but like that's what friendlies are there for, because you never know when you'll need him again. Because we found out in Belgrade 18 months ago that it just takes 2 injuries or a suspension or injury, whatever it was back then, and then suddenly he has to be thrown back in. So give him a nice reset tomorrow with hopefully a handy 3-0 win.
Yeah, I just think I feel sorry for him in many ways, because he seems like a great lad. He seems quite popular within both squads. He's just came off the back of a clean sheet against Everton in a 3-0 win against us, which is great. But anyway, but I think if you look at that, like that surely warrants a game. In my opinion, you're playing the Premier League, the arguably the best league in the world. Some people it is, some people it isn't. But he's gone out there and he's got a clean sheet. He's constantly shown great resilience from being left out, brought back in, having good performances. But then again, people were saying he was at fault for a lot of goals in that Liverpool game, which I think cost him his place. Yeah, I'm not saying he was, but people were saying he was.
Yeah.
But look, I would love to see Mark Travers get a run and maybe reclaim some sort of position back in there from. It's such a tough one, because obviously when you're a goalkeeper, there's 3 who's gone for one spot, where obviously if you're in a squad of outfield players, you know, you could get minutes here and there and you're not waiting. So goalkeeper is such a horrible position. So kids, if you're training right now to be a goalkeeper, just give it up.
Yeah,
unless you're absolutely
Lewis for the next 20 years anyway.
Yeah, so just for 10 years, don't worry about it. And then we'll get a few years, we'll bludge in. But yeah, such a horrible situation for Mark Travers, unfortunately. But look, let's hope that he does that. We've gone on a bit longer than we would have hoped, because we ended up talking about the Norway game, but such is football and such is life. And Jer, I'll come to you, get your prediction before I let you go and enjoy the beautiful weather and get yourself a few drinks over in Malta. So your prediction ahead of this game.
I think this is going to be similar. Remember the time we played Andorra in the summer of 2021? It's actually just after that Serbia game. I think it's going to be something similar to that. I think it could be a bit of a slow burner. It may even take a kick up the backside like it did that day, getting a goal behind. But I think if we can get an early goal or even just score early on in the second half or around the hour mark, I think we'll be grand. I think we'll be fine. I still think confidence-wise, morale-wise, I still think the squad seems to be kind of a good player. I don't think they'll be in the doldrums or in the gutter or anything else after Thursday night. Like, we're far superior to a Malta side, as we've seen there. Yes, they have one or two decent friendly results, but like alluded to, they've always finished pretty much bottom of the qualifying groups. They're in League D for a reason, didn't get out of it. We players playing at a higher level. I'd be confident enough of a 2-0 or 3-1 victory, hopefully 3-0 even, to keep the clean sheet. But I'd be confident enough, as Joe said. I think we need to win this game by 2 clear goals with a commanding performance. And it can't be a case of like we get 2 late goals to bail it out. We kind of need that early goal, set the tempo, and just kind of control the game as opposed to kind of leaving it kind of lay on, because otherwise people are saying, oh, we just about go over the line against the Minnow side.
Yeah, Joe, I'll come to you. Obviously, your mate there, Cormac, has predicted a 4-0 win. What's your thoughts?
Always positive, our Cormac. I think a 3-0. I think it'll be. I can see us coming out strong because I think we will want to. Like, Kenny will want us to have a good confidence win against Malta. So I think he'll send us out wanting to attack and kind of kill them off in the first 30 minutes or so, maybe get 2 early goals, and then slow things right down and just see it out with like the 80th minute with Alan Brown. Why not to score again? So I'd say 3-0, a lot of young blood coming in, and I think it'll be really comfortable. I'm not. It is that kind of standard Irish thing of worrying about these small games, but I think there's nothing riding on this. I think the players will go looking forward to a winter holiday now. So I think 3-0.
Okay, and I'll just give my prediction. I'm going to go 4-0, same as Cormac. I think Obafemi get 2, Ogbeni get 1, and then I'm hoping that Evan Ferguson come on as a late sub and become the youngest goal scorer in Irish history tomorrow.
Robbie Keane did it against Malta as well.
Yeah, you're upside down there. I don't know what you've done there, but you're back now. So I'm going 4-0. As Jer said, they could end up scoring. Was that game against Andorra 4-1?
4-1, yeah, we were the goal behind.
Oh, that's right. Troy Parrott with the 2 goals, yeah, and then
Jason Knight, can't remember who.
And Daryl Horgan, who you look a little bit like now at the moment with your facial hair there and your hair as it is.
It's a good look.
We both are West Ireland men, so.
Oh, here, while you're on the stream and people are going to be watching this back, you're doing Movember. Where can people support you?
I didn't actually come prepared and inspected for this. Yeah, probably the easy way to get me is just the link in my bio. So if you follow me already, just click on that and donate there. If not, give me a follow. I will follow you back. I am on private, but I will follow you back for good reason. And yeah, the link is there. I can't remember the top of my head what the link is, yourself, but it's definitely, if you go on to November.
I wasn't putting you. We'll put the link in the comments for people.
Perfect. So yeah, you'll find it there as well. It's for good cause. It's sport men's health. It is to take care of yourself, men's health month. So it's for a good cause. My second year in a row doing it. So enjoying it anyway so far, and may even keep it going. Who knows, into Christmas.
Well, I would shave it off after November if I was you. I don't know what he's talking about there. I don't know what he's talking about there with Martin Luther King, but anyway. Listen, lads, thanks very much for joining me. Jer, enjoy Malta. Joe, enjoy London. And I'm sure I'll be talking to you both very, very soon. Huge thanks to anyone who joined in the comments on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Can we beat Malta? Will we lose to Malta? Are you Kenny in? Are you Kenny out? All that usual stuff. Leave it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new. We'll speak to you all soon. Take care. God bless. And come on, you boys in green.